Here we have the brand new Brellum Duobox 39 millimeter chronometer. Yes, it is a limited edition. And a lot of watch collectors have admired Brellum for years just on what they've been bringing to the market. Brellum is an independent Swiss brand. It's owned and operated by Sebastian Mueller, who is a fourth generation Swiss watchmaker who only makes 299 watches every year, and every one of them is very well made. All of the movements are fully decorated. They are COSC certified. They're always visible behind a display case back in the watch. And the watches, I think, are original in design. They're limited. And when you hold one, when you put it on wrist, when you see the quality in person, you come away with the idea that these should cost more than they do. So it's an independent brand, a highly limited brand, bringing the quality without the markup. Now, the main model that Brellum makes is the Duobox, and that simply means that the case has two box-shaped crystals on the top as well as the reverse. And the Duobox has been 41 millimeter for a long time. They wear a little dominantly. I really like that, but they wear a little too large for some watch collectors' preferences, especially with sizing trends going down sub 40 millimeter in recent years. So Sebastian has taken that feedback and he's redesigned the Duobox, and this is now offered in 39 millimeter. So quite a bit smaller than the previous Duobox. And Sebastian is introducing this new case, this new dial layout, this new movement in 3 different colorways. And I have the blue dial today to share with you. And admittedly, I'm positive, I'm high on Brellum, but this is not a sponsored video. I'm just a fan of what Sebastian has been doing, and I've been a fan for years. I've always told myself that when the right Brellum pops up, I will own one day, one that really speaks to me. And fortunately, that happened this past summer with the Duobox triple calendar moon phase. So here is my own Brellum. I really love this watch. I do wear it regularly. So I approach this review from both a fan and a brand owner standpoint. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about the strengths of this new 39 millimeter chronometer release, and then we will cover perceived weaknesses. So I think the big thing here is the movement. This is called the BR110 movement. Essentially, it's a Le Jeu Perret L110 base that is fully decorated throughout. It has purling and striping and blued screws and a 5N gold-coated rotor. It has a blued column wheel, 26 joules. It beats at 4 hertz or 28,800 times every hour, and it has a very respectable 60 hours of power reserve. This movement is chronometer certified and I think looks beautiful behind this box-shaped display crystal. Now, notice this skeletonized rotor. There's an individual number here. This is one of 46. Sebastian is releasing 46 of each colorway, and that's worldwide, so very limited in overall release. The action of the chronograph is smooth and crisp. There is no jump stutter, and that's thanks to this column wheel. Now, the registers are laid out at 3, 6, and 9. They're dial color matched, and you can track elapsed time with these registers up to 12 hours in one timing event. Now, the blue, the subtle sunray blue of the dial, I think is striking. It's beautiful. It has a slightly lighter or paler or warmer hue of blue. Some may say that this is cobalt blue. Nonetheless, I think it looks really sharp. And there is a dial match blue date wheel that cuts into this elapsed hours counter. Note the Swiss-made designation just below that subdial with the brand carbuncle icon printed in between Swiss and made. I like that. Now, other dial details include diamond cut applied markers with an applied Wyvern brand badge just below the 12 o'clock marker. And then there is subtle orange accenting found throughout. That's found on the chronograph seconds tip It's found on the elapsed minutes counter with the indexing to 20, and then the pulsations text around the dial circumference is printed in this. It's not in your face, it's a subtle orange, and it complements this cobalt blue. Now, the overall fit and finish, it's excellent. It's exactly what we've come to expect from Brellum. And for reference, my wrist is 7.25 inches in circumference, and I like to wear my watches a tad loose on the wrist. And I'll also place this next to my own TC moon phase so you can get a sense of how they compare. The moon phase, again, is close to 42 millimeter. And when you see the two side by side, you really notice that size difference. Now, I prefer the larger size. I've always preferred larger watches personally, but I know many will really enjoy this new 39 millimeter dimension. Now, I think it's important to note that the two box crystals, the sapphire crystals, have AR coatings applied. And this obviously makes a difference in seeing the time, seeing the sharp details on the dial, but it's an underrated aspect to have that on the movement crystal. So you can see the purling and the striping and the blued screws and the finishing of this caliber to a higher degree of clarity. So I like the fact that both crystals get the AR coatings. Now, lastly, here is the bracelet. This is a 5-link Jubilee style bracelet with a milled butterfly deployant clasp. I like the purling applied in the clasp, but the bracelet, it doesn't have a lot of length adjustability. There are 3/4 links included on both sides of the bracelet, and the Jubilee style links aren't terribly long, so you can get a decent fit, but there is just not a lot of fine tuning to the length, especially on the fly if your wrist expands in the summer or contracts in the winter. This doesn't have a quick adjust system, so I wonder if a sportier style clasp with more micro adjustment or perhaps quick adjustment would be more appropriate on the Duobox, because I consider the Duobox a sporty daily driver type of watch. Yes, it's sharp, it's slightly dressy, but this has 100 meters of water resistance. This has SLN Superluminova Lume. This has that robust COSC certified column wheel chronograph movement. So a sports style clasp with micro adjustment could be a great addition to the line. Let me know what you think about that below. Lastly, I want to mention that this watch does come with an included leather strap, and I think that's just adding to the value. If you don't like this on the bracelet, perhaps you're not a fan of the clasp, you can wear this on the leather strap, and I think that the blue is versatile enough to where you could expand different colors of leather, maybe someday put it on mesh or put it on rubber or something else. So it is a versatile watch. It does have an included leather strap. Now, I do think this watch is a strong release. It hits all of those notes very well that we like to see as watch fans, as watch collectors, and I do think that it will be received well by the watch market, mostly because this is a 39 millimeter watch, and I know that that is expanding the watch market to a new consumer base that appreciated Brellum before, but never really had the desire to wear a 40 millimeter plus Brellum watch. That's not the case anymore. Finally, a Brellum is offered in a sub 40 millimeter size, which won't appeal to, the crowd that likes the larger watches like me, but it definitely appeals to a good segment of the watch market, and that's an important thing. I'll close this video by relating a quote from Sebastian, just talking about his brand goal, his brand identity, and I think you'll appreciate this. Quote, "It is a closeness to lovers of fine watchmaking that I would like to rediscover today through communication technologies, and more particularly through the internet site and social networks. These allow me to market my timepieces directly from the watchmaker to the enthusiast, and thus offer an affordable luxury watchmaking experience," close quote. So it's this brand direct-to-consumer concept that allows Brellum to offer a luxury level product without dealer markup And that's why a watch like this retails for 3,190 Swiss francs and not a lot more than that. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that when you hold a Brellum watch, when you put it on wrist, when you see the details and the movement, you come away with the impression that this should cost more than it does. And it's finding the independent, limited value in watches like this that I think it's a good thing for the watch market. So this is available now. I've linked it below. Let me know if you have any specific questions. And if you appreciated this video, please hit like. If you would like to see more reviews like this, please subscribe. I post every few days and your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks.